Welcome students to Daily Top Lecture Series. As you can see, today's lecture is on reinforcement and punishment in psychology. Pick a page and pen and jot down important points. Let's begin with reinforcement. Reinforcement is a process in which the behavior is strengthened. After getting a positive consequence, and the behavior is more likely to occur in the future. You can clarify with the given pictorial representation. There is a response followed by positive consequence, and hence the behavior is more likely to occur in the future. Like Skinner box experiment, in which the rat presses the lever, and immediately the food is presented, hence the rat is more likely to press the lever in future. So reinforcement can be defined as the occurrence of behavior that is followed by immediate consequence and results in strengthening of behavior. The behavior that is strengthened through reinforcement is operant behavior. Operant behavior occurs in result of immediate consequence. The consequence that strengthens an operant behavior is called reinforcer. Mainly, there are two types of reinforcement, that is positive and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is defined as the occurrence of behavior, followed by an addition of stimulus that results in strengthening the behavior in future. Whereas negative reinforcement is defined as the occurrence of behavior followed by the removal of aversive stimulus that results in strengthening of behavior. In positive reinforcement, the stimulus that is presented is a positive reinforcer, that is something pleasant, desirable, or valuable for the person. In negative reinforcement, the stimulus that is removed is an aversive stimulus. Aversive stimulus is something unpleasant or painful for the person. Difference between negative reinforcement and punishment is that negative reinforcement strengthens future behavior, whereas punishment weakens the behavior to occur in future. Here, negative doesn't actually mean something bad. It simply means removal or subtraction of stimulus. The most important thing about positive and negative reinforcement is that both have same impact on behavior as they strengthen it. Two other types of reinforcement are social and automatic reinforcement. When another person reinforces you, it is called social reinforcement. Clarify the concept by reading the examples mentioned. See in both the examples, the consequence of behavior was produced by the action of another person. Contrary, when the person himself reinforces himself or gives self-reinforcement, is called automatic reinforcement. Clarify the concept by reading the examples mentioned. See in both examples, the reinforcement was produced by self, not by another person. One more type of positive reinforcement is called Premack principle. In this type of reinforcement, an individual chooses a more preferred behavior over less preferred behavior. The person engages in less preferred behavior to gain the desirable behavior. Read the example carefully to clarify the concept. Escape and avoidance are two types of negative reinforcement. You do escape when you are in an aversive, unpleasant, or painful situation. Avoidance is a pre-learned behavior in which you straightaway avoid going into the situation that can be aversive, unpleasant, or painful for you, keeping in view your past experiences. In avoidance situation, you set a warning signal for yourself and obey it in similar situation occurring in future. Pause for 2 minutes and clarify the concepts of escape and avoidance through the given examples. Repeat the step and clarify the concept of avoidance through the given example. Let's take another example on escape. Read carefully. Take another example for avoidance. Read carefully. Hope it's all clear now. Coming towards the factors that influence the effectiveness of reinforcement are immediacy, contingency, motivating operations, individual differences, and magnitude. Immediacy means immediate presentation of stimulus after the response occurs. Pause here and read the example carefully twice. In contingency, the stimulus and response are contingent. Like whenever the event happens, the response occurs. Wait, pause here and read the example carefully. Hope it's all clear now. Motivating operations means that some events can make a particular consequence more or less reinforcing at some times. The activating events are basically motivating operations. There are 2 types of motivating operations that are establishing operations and abolishing operations. Establishing operations make a reinforcer more potential, whereas abolishing operations make a reinforcer less potent. For example, food is a powerful reinforcer for the person who is hungry instead of a person who has already taken his lunch. Read the example carefully. See, after taking a large meal, already food will play a role of abolishing operation, as you don't need it now. Pause here and read the slide carefully. There are 2 types of schedules of reinforcement that are continuous reinforcement and intermittent reinforcement. Pause the slide here and read the example carefully. That will help you a lot in understanding the concept. A continuous reinforcement schedule is used when the person is learning some new behavior, as initially we give continuous reinforcement to the person until the behavior is completely learned. After the behavior is acquired, we move towards intermittent reinforcement schedule to maintain the BE. These are for types of schedules, where ratio means number of responses and interval means time. Fixed ratio schedule means reinforcing the person after fixed number of correct responses occurs. Whereas variable ratio schedule means reinforcing after the average of fixed responses occurred. Fixed interval schedule means reinforcing after fixed interval of time. Whereas variable interval schedule means reinforcing after the average of fixed time. Read all the mentioned examples carefully to clarify the concept. Moving towards the other method of behavioral modification. That is punishment. Punishment leads to likelihood that the behavior won't occur in the future. In punishment, you present a punisher or aversive stimulus to decrease the likelihood of behavior to occur in future. Pause here and read the example carefully to clarify the concept. Like reinforcement punishment also have two types that are positive and negative punishment. In positive punishment, negative or aversive stimulus is presented to the individual, and as a result the behavior is less likely to occur in future. Whereas in negative punishment, a reinforcing or pleasurable stimulus is removed from the life of an individual. Hence, his behavior is less likely to occur in future. Timeout and response cost are the types of negative punishment. In timeout, you eliminate the child from the task he was enjoying, and in response cost, you take the reinforcer back from the child after occurrence of problematic behavior. Factors influencing the effectiveness of punishment are same as that of reinforcement. Like reinforcement, punishment should be applied immediately after the problematic behavior occurs, and should be contingent with the behavior. Motivating operations are the operations that makes the punishment more or less potent. Individual differences means that the punishment will differ from person to person. Extinction occurs when you stop reinforcing the behavior that was previously reinforced. As the result of extinction, the already reinforced behavior stops occurring in the future. Read the example of extinction to clarify the concept. Increase in frequency, duration, or intensity of unreinforced behavior during extinction process is called extinction burst. Pause here and read the scenario mentioned. When you again start reinforcing the behavior, for applied extinction previously leads to spontaneous recovery. That's it for now. Hope you understood reinforcement, punishment, and its related concepts.